Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how I wash my makeup brushes. So I have all of them laid out here that need to be washed. They're all dirty. I have my little tub that has all the stuff that I usually use. So either baby wash, I also have the Beauty Blender solid cleaner, and then I have the e.l.f. solid sponge cleaner. So I'm going to use those. I also have a sample of this Beauty Blender Pro one, but I'm not going to use that today. So I also have my little cleaning pad. Then I have a little e.l.f. one, but not e.l.f. Excuse me. I have a little egg one, but I'm going to use this one today. So I usually put that in the sink, and I usually take everything out and fill this up with water and soap. So this is kind of like my pre-soak before I put it onto the solid. So I'm going to fill this up with water and then put some soap in there. And it'll be kind of like where I pre-swish it. So let me put some water in there. And then I'm going to put in a couple of squirts of the baby lotion. And this is just some baby lotion like the Hill Country Fair from H-E-B. Nothing crazy. So just put a few squirts of that in. We're going to put this to the side. So today I'm going to try out that e.l.f. sponge cleaner and see how that goes. So I'm going to leave it inside the container, and I'm just going to put this down in the sink, and I'll show you what I do with that in just a second. So the first brush, I'm just going to take it. They look horrible, I know. I'm going to switch that around in that first bin. Kind of get it loose. So that's literally all I'm doing, is just kind of wiping it at the bottom, getting it loose. So then I'm going to rinse it a little bit in the sink. So then I'm going to swirl that on that solid. You can see it already starts to start coming out. So I'm going to swirl that on there. And then I'm going to take it and just start to clean it on that. This is one of my foundation brushes, so it gets really yucky. So then I'm going to rinse as I'm swirling. Rinse in the water. And then for these that are like the foundation brushes, I'm probably going to have to do a couple of passes because there's a lot of foundation that's caked up on them. So I'm going to go back here and let that soak. And then swirl that around again on here. Make sure I get a good lather. Swirl, swirl, swirl. And then I'm going to go back to the mat. Need some elbow grease for this one. Okay. Just rinsing that one. Getting better. Getting there. Oops. Swirl some more. It's getting there. So the e.l.f. one I feel like is okay. I think the Beauty Blender one is a little bit better, but I think there's like a $15 price difference. So to save $15, I think it's okay to just have to swirl a couple of times. That's okay with me. So then we're going to go back to the mat. But of course, if you want to just do something quick, then maybe get the Beauty Blender one. I feel like that would be a quicker process. So, but it's getting there. And there you go. Beautiful. So then I just have a napkin to the side, and I'm just gonna swirl that around, swirl, swirl, swirl. And then I'm gonna set this to dry on the side. Looks like I still have some more soap on there, so I'm gonna rinse it a little bit more. Make sure I get all that soap out. I don't know if you can hear me while the water was running, but I just rinsed that a little bit more because there was some soap. So then just gonna squeeze that dry. And then I'm just gonna lay this to the side on the counter on a paper towel so that it can dry. For my next brush, this looks so bad, concealer brush. Gonna start it off in that bucket. Swirl it around, swirl, swirl, swirl. Then onto that solid. Make sure it's really coated well. For the beauty sponges, it's going to be really similar. Going to put that into that first thing of water. Going to put some of that directly on there of that baby shampoo. So kind of loosen it up. And let that soak into it before we put it into that solid. It starts to remove some of it. So you can just use the baby shampoo if you want to, but to me, I feel like the sponge or the solid cleaners do a little better. So now I'm just going to swirl that. Gonna just swirl that into that brush cleaner. Get that on there. Put a little water with it. Get a lather. I'm just squeezing it, getting all that foundation out of there. And then back onto the solid. And just squeezing it. There's a little bit more, so I'm just gonna swish that around on there. Trying to see if we can get it really clean. And there is our sponge. Not 100%, but way better than it looked at first. So I'm going to put this to the side as well. Then after that, you just keep going.